Hello, everybody, and welcome for being here with us. It is a pleasure that Dr. Heidi and I get to share a little bit about what we're so excited about, that we're truly able now to take control of our health. There is science that has really been around for over 20 years or more, but it takes a long time for things to get to the forefront and for people to actually be talking about things because they're so new, no one knows about it. Then people start to know about it, but they question it, and then all of a sudden it becomes very self evident that we can turn on our genes. We actually can take more control of our health than ever before. So, welcome for being with us. You're going to absolutely be blown away about what we're going to share with you, that these products are going to be unlike anything you've ever heard before and how they can help you at the level of your genes. But at the same time, when all of us are really looking at life and building businesses and looking at our finances and retirement, we're all being taught that we either need to be socking away more money, which a lot of us can't be putting more away, or make sure you're really diversifying in having not only two and three streams of income, but maybe even like six and seven and eight. So, Heidi and I love this because you can really help your own health and family and community's health at the same time. You're really building a leveraged income, kind of that financial engine. So, before we jump in, Dr. Heidi, I would love for you to just introduce yourself for a few minutes and just tell people a little bit about your background.
Yeah, I'm Heidi Iratcabal. I'm an ND. I'm certified in functional medicine and functional medicine clinician. I've been practicing for about 30 years. And I come into the health and wellness field through athletics, always looking for the best diet, the best supplements, the best workout routine, rest routine, all the things, all the tools to enhance my performance. I'm this 5'3", small, framed person, and I went to university on a javelin scholarship with a lot of big people. So those modalities had helped. The research, my own research, and great coaches really helped me to do this. But it wasn't until my running career ended and I moved to France and I started bicycle racing. Out of necessity, I needed to move, and I ended up on the world champion with Jeannie Longo on her team, and rode professionally for 6 years with her. And it was with her that I found diet and lifestyle changes, different modalities, homeopathy, herbology, acupuncture, all these other modalities that really had a profound effect on my performance, my recovery. And I felt so great that I thought at that moment, when I'm retired, I want to bring this to the masses. I want to do this for people because it is food, lifestyle. It's making these decisions piece by piece that can have huge outcomes, and anyone can do it. So that's where I came back to America and got all certifications and all that fun stuff. And here I am.
Oh my gosh, Heidi, it is truly, you're so special because you're so humble in who you are and what you do, but you're so brilliant. And so with this, you guys, I'll briefly introduce myself and then I'll really tell Heidi to share like why she said yes to LifeVantage and what we are about to share with you. So if you don't know me, my name is Kellie Lupsha. I've been a physical therapist for 30 years. I've loved what I've done. My husband and I have had our own private practice in stroke, traumatic brain injury, concussion survivors, and it has been transformative in helping people reclaim their health back. But what I really realized is when I went from my 40s into my 50s that I needed to take control of my health because I didn't want to end up having to get sick and trying to regain my health back. And I knew that was a time in my life that so many women struggled, and I didn't want to like follow suit what people thought was normal. So I got introduced to this 12 years ago, this whole field of nutrigenomics, the body being able to turn on our genes and really change the expression, meaning change your outcome of where you're headed. And so we always say that the body is the miracle. We can truly heal if given what it needs. And for the course of time, Heidi, as you were sharing that you've used so many supplements that have helped support your optimal health and wellness, whether it just be the average everyday person to the elite athlete and anything in between. But now there's actually something more. There's actually something that can not just fill that gap and deficiency, but can be the master breaker and turn on the body's power. So, when you got introduced to Protandim NRF2, our flagship product, and the company LifeVantage, like, why did you say yes as a clinician? Because many people were coming to you saying, sell our product, endorse our thing, and you had access to every nutraceutical you possibly could.
Yeah, absolutely, Kelly. I would not only did I had access to a lot of things that were not available to the, to the masses, if you will, and that were used with other, you always want to learn from other people. So I'd look at other athletes and their performance, like, oh, what are they doing? Well, I want to do that. I want some more of that. And I didn't find anything that different than what I was doing until I was introduced to NRF2 probably 10 years ago, maybe 12 now. I've known you, yeah, maybe even longer. When it first came out, I had someone introduce me to it. I looked into it. I thought, could this be real? This is almost too good to be true. And because it was with, multi-level marketing, I really said no, even though I thought the product was so compelling, but I had a real struggle with it. 10 years later, I run into Kellie. I mean, actually, before that, there were other companies coming to our clinic, and we had a very big functional medicine clinic saying, we have an NRF2 activating system. We have this, we have this. And we all got very excited about it. I thought, oh, maybe it's from that other company. It was a different company, but we didn't see any effects. We did not see people's lives change with it. And so we kind of gave up on it. And then I meet Kellie. And I think, you know what? The research is too compelling. I'm hearing better stories of life-changing effects with taking this, and I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it. And that's what I love is the science really backs it up. Whether I feel it or not is not the question, but is it working? And are there people out there that it is life-changing effects? Everyone has NRF2 in their genes, and we need to turn them on. And this is the only nutraceutical supplement, whatever you want to call it, that is proven. And this is what may change my mind. It's the only one out there on the market proven to activate, not just supplement, but actually activate that NRF2 gene in our body that then goes out, burrows into the other cells and say, hey, let's make over 200 antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, anti-cancer genes, turn those things on. It's a powerful mechanism and we get it other ways in our body and so forth, but this is the only proven nutraceutical and I'm going with it.
Oh my gosh, Heidi. All right, I love it. Well, some of you guys may be like, well, what is Dr. Heidi talking about? I don't know. Let's jump into it, Heidi. So I'm going to share slides with everyone. And we're going to give you a brief introduction on what is activation, who is this company, and what are the main products that we're talking about when Heidi uses the language of activation. So today, everybody, we are going to help you stop guessing and start activating. The future of health and wealth is here. What I love is we no longer have to wait for it. It is literally here right now. So with that, let's talk about LifeVantage. I'm going to introduce to you the activation company. When Heidi says activation versus supplementation, we are the only activation company, which means it's turning on our DNA at the level of our genes to do something, to activate a mechanism. And the first one that we're going to introduce to you is that NRF2 gene. So as we take a look, before we jump into the science, I just want to paint a picture for all of you with timing and why LifeVantage, why now? When Heidi said that there is over 30 peer-reviewed published research on this flagship product, Protandim NRF2, the research is on Protandim NRF2. The research has been done on other products. It's been researched. It's been proven. They've been patented or patent pending. So the products are not on trial. And people have now been using them for almost 20 years, which is exciting because it's not new anymore. But right now it's perfect timing because people are talking about taking control of your health. People are talking about, traditional medicine really isn't the direction I want to go. There might be only putting band-aids. I don't want more pharmaceuticals. How can I take control of my life? So people are looking for this at the same time where we are in the world today. People are looking My bank account might need a little bit more money. I am struggling of what I once had of where I need to go. So I love that fact that the timing is so beautiful. And we truly stand out in the marketplace all the way back from 2005. Yes, 20 years ago, there was an ABC investigative report that they tried to debunk everything Dr. Heidi just said. And on national television, they were able to prove that it's true, that literally what you're about to see stood up and it can reduce oxidative stress or the aging, that rusting of our cells by an average of 40% in 30 days in 100% of people. And when I say people, really all mammals. So this is profound. And recently, we've been in Newsweek, we've been on NASDAQ. People are talking about us because we're creating a movement. Just a few months back, we acquired another company called Love Biome, and I have to say that not many companies are financially in a position to buy and purchase another company. And with that, we're seeing rapid explosion because we're taking over the microbiome industry by storm, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So keep your ears perked. And the last thing I'll really say in painting this picture is I wasn't looking for another thing to do. I wasn't, looking for more friends. I wasn't looking for network marketing. I was looking for a way to help people. And I was also looking for a way that when I wanted to be out of my clinic, I didn't have to trade time for money for the rest of my life, that I could take control of my time. And I didn't have an answer for that until LifeVantage. And so we're evolving in the industry to be able to pay people should they just want to share this and be an affiliate, or should they want to grow a large residual income and create that leverage building micro franchises. It's all possible. So, you guys, without further ado, yes, you can make a little money. I only like to share this up front just for the fact of one, I think in the entire industry, there is only 8 network marketing companies that are publicly traded. That speaks volumes to myself, to my husband, to Dr. Heidi, why we said yes, because there's 100% transparency behind where every single dollar is spent with this company. Most of it is all paid back to us, which I love. And even more than that, of the money this company is bringing in, 70% of the money comes in from rabid, raging, fanatic fans that order this month after month after month. So, talking about having a solid, consistent business, this is what you could potentially have your hands on, whether you want to make a little bit of money, more money, or a lot of money. I don't know where you sit, but I just want you to think, what if? What if this could work for me? So, Heidi, let's go back and start. We're having a ton of fun. It's taken us all around the world, whether it's been to South Africa, whether it's been Alaska, the Dominican Republic, Croatia. Like, it's been incredible of what we can do with this company. But more than anything else, a simple slogan I want you guys to keep in the back of your mind as Heidi and I start sharing with you a little bit of science is very, very simple. The slogan, take it to make it. We take these products to get our body to make what it's designed. And whether we're making antioxidants, whether we're making proteins, whether we're making peptides, enzymes, other thing we need for better health, that's what we're designed to do. But as we age and living in the world of today, I'll say a little bit of toxic soup, our bodies are struggling more than ever, but now we have an answer. We're not going to talk about all these products. We're just going to highlight a couple today. So, with that, Heidi, just briefly share with people like where this started, why this is so exciting, and why this is a different NRF2 activator than what you were exposed to, or even what other people are saying there's things out there on the market that this is unique in and of itself.
Yeah. Um, yeah, this, as you see, you'll see a picture here of the doctor that developed or that discovered the molecule superoxide dismutase. There's a test at the end, so remember that. No, there's not. But superoxide dismutase is one of the powerhouse free radical fighters, antioxidants in our body. And what Joe McCord did was try and accomplish formulating something that actually turned on those antioxidants in our body. And he found that activating that NRF2 gene was the master switch of producing superoxide dismutase, glutathione, catalase, all these different mechanisms that go to work to squelch free radical damage, inflammation, cancer causing weird cellular activation and sharing. So, this little yellow pill, Protandim NRF2, is a game changer. In fact, and Kellie, you can correct me that some of the scientific measurements now in research are measured by McCord's after Dr. Joe McCord because it was so profound, his discovery. He did win a medical, prize for it, but finding this out and go backing it up to find the master switch for all of those antioxidant genes that we already have in our body, but they wind down as we get older. They become less efficient as we get older. And then the more exposure we have to things, the harder they have to work. So this switch, that NRF2 master switch, turns that all back on for full protection and immune regulation.
Oh my gosh, I absolutely love that. And for some of you that were like, oh my God, that's a lot, we're gonna like make it a little more digestible. Just know this literally takes out the trash, right? It's gonna get rid of all the bad things and upregulate all of your good things. It's really that profound. And so with that, today we're gonna bypass this. I'm gonna pause this, you guys. Just a few pills. This is an ABC investigative report. It's about 7 minutes long. In today, we're not going to share that, but ask whoever invited you to take a look at this to watch that ABC investigative report because that reporter you just saw, John Quinones, he went on national television and in only 2 weeks, the levels of his oxidative stress, that aging of his cells, right, that inflammation, that went down by 45%. And when universities and institutions around the world were studying the link to oxidative stress, they said, that is absolutely unreal. How can we get our hands on it? And they started studying it. So I love that. And you're going to see a little bit more about the research. But Heidi, like just to back up, right, to the average person when they're like, what is oxidative stress? Like this, I love this example, right? Because this has happened to all of us, seeing our apples go brown.
Yeah, this is oxidative stress happens all the time with your every time you breathe, every time you move, every time you eat, every time you think, right? We create oxidative stress or free radicals, and that is oxidative stress in our body. And so we have these mechanisms because our body knows that we're going to generate these oxidative damaging free radicals. We also have that NRF2 that gets triggered and turns on and it reduces that oxidative stress. So it is like Kellie says, it's like rusting in the body. The cells become very toxic and they start to die off. Very much like an apple, when you cut it, it's oxidizing in the air, right? And it starts to turn brown and die, and no one wants to eat that. So you imagine that process happening in our cells and protandem NRF2 resisting that, fighting that aging, die off, damaging oxidative stress.
Oh my gosh, yes. So in a nutshell, with Take It to Make It, everyone, you take Protandim NRF2 to get your body to make antioxidants. That's honestly very simplistic because it does so much more. But when we only look at antioxidants, which is just one part of it, it's way more powerful when our body makes it versus historically what we always thought of taking it, right? Like taking our vitamin C or eating our blueberries or broccoli or kale, things like that. And the fact that normally, Heidi, right, when we're trying with lifestyle and diet, which we do, and eating the colors of the rainbow, we're just fighting off those bad guys 1 to 1. So that may have worked hundreds of years ago when we weren't exposed to so many toxins, pollutants, chemicals, plastics, you name it. But now our bodies can't handle that assault. It's too large. But when you take Protandim, now your own body neutralizes them instead of 1 to 1 at 1,000,000 to 1 per second every single second. So if you just take away one thing, you guys, from this graph, as we age, we get more oxidative stress, which leads to disease. And Heidi's going to talk about that in just a second on the next slide. So if you don't take Protandim, your oxidative stress, you hit 20 and it just starts going up and up and up and up, leading to disease. After taking Protandim for 30 days, you can no longer distinguish the oxidative stress in the blood of an 80-year-old versus a 20-year-old. That's how powerful this is. So, Heidi, just share a little bit more about people say, okay, I kind of understand oxidative stress. I don't really. How does it affect me? Just share a little bit about how it can affect the whole body.
Yeah, absolutely. So if we have oxidative stress, and this is why we have a mechanism in the body that generates glutathione and generates uh, superoxide dismutase to fight these free radicals, because where it can show up, these cause damaging effects to our cells. And when you see this graph, and well, like where am I going to feel it? Well, you can feel it in your heart, and cardiovascular disease is still the number one killer of both men and women. Skin, kidney, joints, arthritis, right? Rheumatoid, autoimmune, lung, brain, Alzheimer's, overall immune system function. Our blood vessels goes along with the heart, right? Because is it heart or is it vasculature? Multi-organ breakdown, if you will. So chronic fatigue syndrome, chronic inflammatory issues, diabetes, and eyes, macular degeneration. So when we get a robust amount or a high amount of free radical and oxidative stress, the damage is far-reaching and can hit anything. Oftentimes it depends on our gene set where it shows up. So for someone else, that same amount of damage might show up in their joints. Someone else may show up in vasculature or poor heart issues. So the free radical damage is far reaching and can hit anything.
And if any of you are curious, you could go to what you see on the right hand side. This is the National Library of Medicine. It's called pubmed.gov. You can type in oxidative stress and you're going to see, like 300,000 studies. It's every day, every month, it is growing like crazy. And you could also type in oxidative stress and maybe something that your family member has, or maybe something that you're curious about. And you can see the link of oxidative stress to almost everything. So let me ask all of you, if you don't want any of those diseases Heidi was just talking about, would it be a good thing to reduce your oxidative stress? Yes, like we would all, yes, of course.
Yeah.
But if you ask your doctor that question, to this point, there is not a pharmaceutical or any other nutraceutical out there that can reduce this oxidative stress. And that's why it's not really talked about. Now, I have to say, some people are like, oh my God, this is so boring. It's not sexy, right? Well, what I will tell you is when you're sick, when something happens, then you're like, oh God, health is sexy. Please give me my health back. Like, so we are going to talk about like a little bit more things that maybe it's more quote fun, but this is where it all begins. It begins in the health of the cell. And Heidi, this is what you were referring to is all of this third-party validation from universities around the world. I mean, this is so impressive. And this is what Washington State University, they did a literature review 10 years ago now. So again, this isn't new. It's now just being brought to the forefront. And you'll hear all sorts of people talking about this, that NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. So if you care about eating well, if you already are taking some supplements, this is the number one thing that you need to add into your life.
Yeah.
But with that, I mean, Heidi, this is, you guys, this is just an example. Back to PubMed. If you type things in, this isn't Kellie talking, it's not just Heidi talking. Look at these articles. This is baffling that every single one is positive in a variety of aspects of our health. And what you just saw of the National Institute of Aging, they put Protandim in a study to look at longevity. They thought at the time resveratrol and a few other pharmaceuticals on the market would show that it actually extended life. The only product out of that clinical research study by the National Institute of Aging that showed it actually extended life was Protandim Nerf 2. I mean, that should make you all say, how fast can I get this in my body? So, Heidi, I know that Protandim NRF2 is like the superstar.
Hmm.
But before we kind of go on to some of the other products, let's just stick in this far left side. You guys see a family of three blue bottles that beyond NRF2, they also found products that can activate mitochondria and NAD. And maybe you just can share a little bit why that's so different than the other products on the market that are actually still more supplementing or a precursor to those things.
Yeah. This is, I can't say this often enough, is this is why I love this company, is because their intention when they go to do research, when they go to develop a new product, they find a need, not what everyone wants out there, but what everyone needs out there, right? And so, like Kellie said, it doesn't look sexy because I don't see podcasters going on it. I don't see, it all over the market because everyone wants this magic pill. These are magic. It's just the magic that's going to what you need, right? And so we have the NRF2, but then they developed NRF1, which actually NRF1 is another gene that gets activated, and he goes and he talks to the mitochondria. Now, why do we want to talk to the mitochondria? Because that is, as you probably remember from high school, that it is the powerhouse of the cell. It makes ATP. We can't flex a muscle, we can't move, we can't breathe without mitochondria being strong and replicating in a strong way. But again, that aging process, it doesn't replicate well. If we have high inflammation, the mitochondria cannot generate ATP. If you know you have mitochondrial sluggishness, is when you feel sluggish. You can't think. You can't recover after your workouts. You're tired all the time. And this doesn't matter what age you are. If you're feeling these things, your mitochondria is suffering. And this NRF2 is that master switch that really supports mitochondrial function and mitochondria biogenesis to replicate itself in a strong and efficient way.
Oh my gosh. So NRF1, you guys, is like just as important. It's just different. It's just as important. And then quickly, NAD, Heidi, because NAD is a little bit of a buzzword out there right now.
Yeah. NAD is again a byproduct of to really signal that goes down that chain of events of getting rid of dead cells, making sure those dead cells get cleaned off and we have new fresh ones going. NAD is a big deal right now because it's such a biohacking, um, talked about supplement. Here's the problem with a lot of NADs out there. We're finding that some people really get great effects with it, some people not so much. Do we all need a high dose NAD, supplement? The supplements don't get absorbed like an activator. When you can activate your own body's production of NAD, we have everything we need in our body. We have everything to keep us healthy and strong, but sometimes it needs a little activation to keep it going. And that's what this tri-synergized group does, the NRF1, the NRF2, the NRF1, and their NAD.
Oh my gosh, absolutely love that, you guys. Okay, so briefly, we're going to talk about these three groups. We're going to talk about the healthy edge, which is really about our gut repair. We're going to talk about the healthy glow, and that again is going to talk about collagen, which you might think is beauty, which it is, but it's so much more because it's the scaffolding inside. And we're going to briefly touch on the healthy weight stack, which is an activation of natural GLP-1. So, Heidi, the healthy edge stack is combining Protandim NRF2 with this product called P84. What you guys see, Phytopower 1, Phytopower 2, together they've got 84 ingredients that make this really a superpower in activating 14 peptides in the gut. Heidi, I mean, you already in your practice are like, I can't believe what I'm seeing from all the gut protocols I used to do, needing to put people on several products to now one simple product.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I'm very excited about this P84. What I'm excited about is the stacking of it. Again, I love this company because it's intentional about what it develops, what it acquires, because it has to go with what our intention is activating at a gene level. The microbiome is the home of health, the home of longevity, the home of our immune system. And adding this P84, which are all the oxidative vegetables and fruits that you could possibly imagine, 84 of them, in a synergistic powder, so that helps turn on our NRF2 gene from our microbiome. And then you add NRF2 into it, we get a powerful outcome of regulation, repair, restoration. It is phenomenal. And yes, I used to do 3 or 4 different products to try to get the same effects that P84 does. P84 helps heal the gut lining, produces peptides that help musculature, lungs, I'm all over the body, and you connect those things. The microbiome is a powerful place to start because it is the home of everything.
It's the home of everything. And I mean, I've been surprised, Heidi, of people saying, oh my gosh, like immediately after eating, I don't feel bloating. I have less inflammation. I'm sleeping better. People are reporting my mental health. Like, is this possible? I'm like happier. I'm in a positive mood. The fog lifted. But we know that the gut, the health of the gut and the microbiome is essential in so many things. So for those of you out that are already like, well, I'm taking prebiotics or postbiotics or a targeted enzyme or your green blends, like the beautiful thing is you can set all that aside, and with one simple system, this takes care of it all. And it's just profound that it's so simple, because I think everybody's like overtaking a gazillion pills today, right? And this was just a little bit of what Heidi was talking about. These are some of the activation peptides, or peptides that P84 activates. They activate genes to regulate different aspects of your gut. You see all of these happen. And then on top of regulating, they also see it in repairing your gut, all these genes. So again, you don't need to just take 1 or 2. You've got 14, or you can even restore. And what's really exciting, Heidi, is when the company first looked at what are we going to see with P84, they picked 14 genes to say, let's see if it'll at least upregulate some of them. They had no idea it'd be all of them. More study has been underway. We're going to actually see the results of that in just a couple weeks. Instead of looking at 14, they're actually looking at more. So we're saying 14, but actually, I think it's going to be a whole lot more. Bottom line is this is the simplest, easiest system to fix your gut.
Mm-hmm.
So Heidi, let's move on to the Healthy Glow Stack. And again, this is combining the Protandim NRF2 with collagen. And I love this collagen because it's not just about beauty. Collagen is made up of every single thing stretchy in the body, right? So it's our
Yeah.
joints, our bones, our blood vessels, our brain barrier, our gut barrier. And so what got you so excited about the liquid collagen, the activated liquid collagen?
So many aspects about it that got me excited for sure. We all sort of came to the realization like, oh, we probably need some collagen. And so then the bovine collagens came out, and chicken and all, became a big buzzword and a big demand for it. Again, this company is really intentional about what they do and what they put out. And when they put out the collagen, this is a fish derived, so it actually is much more bioidentical to our body and latches onto the different receptors, more receptors than, say, the other collagens out there. And by activating more receptors, again, you take it, you're replacing some collagen, but what's very uniquely different about this collagen is that it activates your own genes to make more collagen. The collagen production as we age it's a downward trend. It's not a slow decline, it's a downward trend. And so this is where we find out collagen is very important to help and support in our body. But if you can get a collagen that helps your body make it, keep making it longer, the effects are longevity. The effects are not joint pain, not tearing your muscles every time you go to work out. Yes, having glowing skin and etc. All those things are lovely to have, but the real thing is that this is the scaffolding, like Kellie said, of our body. Scaffolding is important. Look at a house. They have to put up scaffolding. It has to be strong while they build things. It's important, and to hit all the scaffolding areas, this liquid collagen is proven to do so. Then when you add it with the NRF2 activator, all of its effects are much more profound.
Oh my gosh, you guys, it's just awesome. This is just a slide showing the collagen alone, that in 8 weeks, you can see the density, the more yellow and bunched up, 100% increase in density in 8 weeks. But really, it's like 3 products in one. It activates what Heidi was said, turning on our genes again to make collagen, the only product on the market that can do that. It does replenish, but not with one, but 10 types. And it also maintains our collagen by turning off the genes that degrade our collagen. So it's really this like three-prong approach that's so special. And then, just like Heidi said, once you add it and combine it with NRF2, what you're seeing, oh my gosh, like this is happening on the outside. But imagine what's truly happening on the inside. And I think that's the biggest thing I hear people saying is, oh my gosh, this knee pain, every time I'd go up and down the stairs, it's suddenly gone. Oh my gosh, my disc in my back is like, it's healing. And even on x ray, we're seeing changes. The people are talking about their hands and like arthritis and holding, whether it's gardening or golf or whatever, like my hands are better. So it's a big deal. And before we just leave this whole thing is what this means for our body's cellular stress system. When they researched the pair together, they found something so extraordinary that our body, the reason why many of us end up so sluggish and end up with our body fighting itself, which then may turn into things like autoimmune, cancer, chronic disease, long COVID, and more, is the body is stuck in the cycle of stress. When you can actually reset that whole group of genes to get out of the cycle of stress and stop basically, you know, hurting itself, it's like, oh my God, thank you. I can take a breath. And people are feeling those effects. It's so fabulous. So, Heidi, let's move to the third one, really just briefly talk about the healthy weight stack because GLP-1 is now everywhere. It's in liquid form, pill form, injectable form. Like everyone's talking about it. We know it's positive. Like that's a thing. We now know it's positive not just for weight loss, but metabolic health and longevity. So again, maybe just a little bit of the uniqueness of this mind-body system.
Yeah. So this came out early on when all the GLP-1 suddenly was all the rage. And the mindset was that we had to get it through an injection. We had to get it through a shot. We couldn't get it any other way. Here's the reality of it. Our body makes GLP-1, GLP-2, GLP-3, GLP-4. Our body, like I'll say over and over, we have absolutely everything we need. We make everything we need. And who's in there that is in charge of that? Our microbiome, right? Our microbiome, that good microbiota in there. They help turn on that NRF2. They help turn on GLP-1, GLP-2. And what LifeVantage did was to find a combination of nutrients that help feed that microbiota that then triggers this gene, that gene, and voila, we have much more GLP-1. Not only do we have more GLP-1, but we have more efficient GLP-1 and fat burning, fat recruitment, sugar slowing transit time, managing blood sugars. And so this system was to replace any injections. The idea was to get people to just change their diets a little bit, add some of the key nutrients that we can get our own body to make that GLP-1, to lose that weight without losing any muscle. And that's one of the things that you'll remark on here if you read this list is that of all the test cases they did, not one person lost muscle mass. And this is profound because the muscle mass loss, when people lose rapid weight loss with the higher dose of GLP-1 injections, it's immune dysregulating. And when they lose that, they're setting themselves up for chronic disease in the future. They might look good right now, but they've just set themselves up for chronic disease in the future because muscles are our currency for the future, isn't it? So this is profound in that you can lose the weight, but not lose the muscle mass.
I love this, Heidi. And for some people, it's just about this metabolic health and talking about food noise. For other people, for me, going through the transition into menopause, it was, oh my gosh, I'm sleeping through the night and I'm not having this anxiety and these hot flashes. So it's pretty profound. And some people are able to, use this instead. And some people have a combination. Everybody's so different, but the whole purpose is take it to make it. Can you take it and get our body to make GLP-1? This is just some of people's stories, and everybody's a little bit different of activating. But when you're upregulating GLP-1 so that you can lose fat but keep muscle mass or maybe gain muscle mass, some of these individuals you'll notice the scale might not have changed as much, but the body composition is changing dramatically, and people's metabolic health, like their cholesterol, triglycerides, A1C, cortisol, like to drop numbers like that is like, this is true health.
Yeah, this is true health because the numbers that I surprisingly, but overjoy saw were these cholesterol numbers going down. Works better than any statin out there. It's not a claim. I'm just saying the numbers actually shifted when they got the body to do something differently with the food that it
Absolutely.
was eating and the way you were moving. So it does have a profound effect.
Well, you guys, I hope you can start to understand that we're really leading the industry of activation and that supplementation really has failed us at the root cause level, right? We all may need a little bit of supplementation of things, especially at different times in our life. So we're not saying that, but when we're trying to look at the root cause, we're like missing the boat, right? And now we have products that flip the switch at the level of our genes. So one quick product that I have to just throw in there because I tell everybody that everybody needs this because I think we all have a little bit of attention deficit today with the gazillions of notifications and distractions. But again, we're looking at a strategy of take it to get the brain to make neurotransmitters, make those brain messengers. So whether it's for a kid that needs attention and focus, whether it's for us in midlife feeling like we're losing our mind, or whether you're looking at a long-term health brain strategy to prevent cognitive decline in the future, this is like a 1-2 punch. Everybody needs it. Love it every day.
Yeah.
And here's an example of an 8-year-old little boy, 2 weeks from taking Protandim Nerve 2 and Axio. I mean, his brain turned on, right? Organization, focus, clarity. And what you see here on paper is going to carry over into his life with his family, in school, and so much more. So this is the small product line the company has. I love that. It's Nerve 2 activated. We're not going to get into really any more detail, but just know all these products came out of research from other institutions that said, this is what we found. Could you help make this? This is what we found. Let's make that. This is what we found. This in combination with Protandim even works better. And so it's just such a beautiful pairing. So let me end with who we are and what it would look like if you got involved and partnered with Dr. Heidi and I or whoever invited you to take a look. This company is debt free. It's financially transparent. And again, it's been around for over 20 years with manufacturing. We're publicly traded on the NASDAQ. You can go look it up. Look, our ticker is LFVN and see her for yourself. And we're really the ones that people are talking about today in this industry. Now, we need more voices to spread the activation message. That's the truth. And if you just ask everybody, hey, you want to feel better? You want to lose a little weight? I think everybody would say yes. And so now you have a solution. So in life, we all fall in one of these areas, and maybe we're all writing in several of these areas that you might be an employee, you work for somebody else, and they're telling you what to do. You may be self employed. Many of us are, and that wheel owns us because we're like never ending, right? Like we've been there. But what the key in life is even if you're in 1 and 2, can you find a way to build number 3? Can you find a way to build an economic engine so the engine turns the wheel whether you're there or not? And how I started with this was saying that if you have recurring sales of 70% of month after month after month, that's a pretty good economic engine that you can build. We know your time is valuable. So this is the great thing. You're the CEO of your business. You decide how much time. Customers check out online. You never have to touch anything. There's a system that you can be educated. You learn as you go. And even though you have your own company, you're in business for yourself. You're not in business by yourself. We lock arms together and build. So what do? You're interested in product, you're interested in being a business partner with us. You either come in and buy a stack as a customer, let's get your health activated today, or you say, I'd like to partner. This micro franchise really sounds interesting. I can work from my phone. We're having a lot of fun. Like, let's do it. So instead of buying as a customer, you're going to enroll as a consultant. You're just going to buy a group of products and join us in the business. And it's that easy to have your own custom website. You can send people shopping carts, you can send people links, and really start building a business in a matter of minutes. So, you guys, Thank you so much for your time, your energy, your efforts of being here, of wanting to look at something different. Because that's where it got Heidi and I is if we didn't change our lives, nothing would change. So we love whether it's the fact of we're always changing the best of health, the best in our personal development, the best in our finances, is how can we become a better version of us? And this company allows us to do that honestly in all of those aspects and so much more. Any closing thoughts for you, Heidi?
No, I think you said it really well. I just think it's something everybody needs, whether they want to admit it or not. This works at a level that goes untalked about. And this is effective. And the business is something that if you're a practitioner listening to this, the one-on-one, the making courses and hoping someone finishes it and buys it, it's a bit of a spinning wheel. I've been on it. I'm here for 30 years. I've been on that wheel, and it's not really making that kind of retirement, that level that I would really like. I'm still working as hard as I can. So, uh, this is that leverage income that Kellie's talking about to help us move out of the one-on-one and to be able to have a retirement that is joyful, active, all the things we really want out of life because we've worked really hard to help other people.
And you guys, you don't have to be a practitioner, a clinician. You can be a hairdresser, a stay-at-home mom. You can be retired, but you're a wellness advocate. You want better health. You want better health for your community, your family, the people around you. And you're like, hey, I could make those dollars. I could make 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 a month. Or maybe you're just looking to make $500 a month. Yeah, share it with a few friends. We'll teach you how. You don't need to know anything, and that's the beauty of this business is anybody can join, anyone can have success. And we just hope you say yes, and we'll help you get started. Get back to
Say
whoever
yeah.
invited you, and we thank you for your time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.